Traders, investors, and peeps, what is going on? We are back. So you want to talk about Titan Medical? Well, let's do it. So there's other videos out there, and yes, we're not going to go too deep into the stuff, but we'll get into the things after. So I'll link this in the down there if you'd like. You can give it a read. It is a badass surgery, or I guess surgical assistant device. So this thing is basically an extension of the surgeon, just a robotic little Spider-Man arm guy. What's that guy's name? Doc Ock? Kind of looks like him, right? So our multi-articulating instrument allows for a remarkable range of motions in confined spaces and delivers the necessary strength for a common surgical task. These motions are executed through multi-articulating instrument arms, featured with task-specific end effectors, which allow it to do some stuff. So, I mean, yeah, it hasn't been cleared by the FDA yet, but they're working on it, and we'll get to that. But it's very intriguing, really interesting looking. You see right there some action. They had a mouth? I don't know. They're somewhere. I'm not a doctor. There you go, the multi-articulator. So I'll link this in the down there. You can check it out. This is really cool. So I didn't find any news why they're moving. Also, Benzinga didn't find any news why they were moving. Whoop. Shares are trading higher today, not seeing any specific news. So this is just momentum from past stuff and things. And so although there wasn't any news of why it was moving today, I couldn't really find anything online either, but I did find this. So on the 30th, they were reaching out to the FDA to get the requirements for their application. And so they're going to be applying for the de novo pathway. And I guess that is some sort of FDA clearance pathway. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Let me know in the down there. While the response from the FDA's request does not constitute a classification, the FDA has indicated that based on information provided to the agency that the Enos system is appropriate for classification through the de novo pathway. And it also says somewhere in here that if they get the de novo classification, that a grant of the de novo classification would give this a class 2 device title and it would be cleared for marketing. So let's look at the daily chart. Let's look at the breakout action. I guess we're going to have to go back a little farther so you can see where some of these are coming from. So I drew our levels. Let's look at the things. So we'll start back here and we'll work forward. So we got where the rejection started before it gapped down. Now at the time, this area likely had lots of bag holders that got the rug pulled out from under them. And a lot of those bags are cleared in this region here. But after it rallies, it sells off. Likely it didn't have a lot of stuff and things going for it at the time. And so it kind of continues to trickle down until this point right here where it actually gaps down again. So same logic that we talked about right here is going to hold true and even truer downwind, right? Likely not that many bag holders back here in 2018 finally selling in 2020. I mean, sure, some, but I really don't like to make those reaches and assumptions if it's been, much more than a year. And it depends on the chart. It depends on the drop, right? So let's look into the recent action. This was in 2019, so that's fair play, especially for these guys right in here. It wasn't that long. A couple months, about a year. This thing gaps down. We got a lot of people trapped in here. Continues to run down. Finally gets some good news, and the thing just goes crazy. And these people finally saw a way out. They could finally breathe, and so they dumped it. So you have the added selling resistance from the bag holders back here until it gets enough news and stuff and things to get some more momentum to retest. Now notice when we get into this region right here, we have a lot of wicking. There's still lots of people unloading and selling that were caught back here. You also have to keep in mind, I'm not the only person that thinks this way. Lots of people are making these assumptions. I mean, patterns and things like this only really work because other people are looking for it, right? It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of deal. Falling wedge, the flag, stuff like that. They're data trends and they're valid, but they're further validated because there's people looking for different inflection points in said trend and playing off it, right? So we got bags being unloaded, and look what happens when we cross the line. We went up like 50, 60, 70% today. Interestingly enough, getting rejected right there on that same wick. But notice how it was able to move a lot cleaner because we didn't have any of this to deal with. These two ugly candles right here. That's what all these buyers were fighting. It's this. So here's where things are going to get really interesting. So you remember how we said we think these bags are cleared because one, they're old bags, two, these people likely unloaded right here, and it wasn't a super aggressive one. You know, people that were buying in here could have gotten out pretty easily. When the thing is gapping down 20-30% a day, you're going to get caught holding the bag, especially when it's doing this. So what's interesting is if we can hold this blue line. I'm looking for us to maintain and hold, what is that? 285 about. If we can hold 285 in a meaningful way, assuming that a lot of these bags are cleared like we're hoping, this could very well gap up again. So we'll see what happens. I got into this a little bit late. Popped up on the scanner, did a little digging, and I decided it looked interesting, so I hopped in. Got like 700 something shares in here. Unloaded most of them, and I got 450 freebies riding, so we will see how those fend. But that is it. Hope y'all enjoyed. Hit the thing, do the stuff, follow me on the stuff and things if you don't. Join the Discord. Catch you in the next one, traders.